Now it's 5:43 and technology is coming to the rescue of Halloween. There are many authentic stories about haunted places or events in Portland's history and in cities across the country.
And now you can indulge your love of haunted stories and places through the use of a website called Portland Ghosts. Cora Harlan is live this morning to tell us more about it. Hey, Cora.
Morning, Jenny. Good morning, Ken. It's that time of year again. These are walking tours that we're talking about in places in Portland where some pretty gruesome things have happened in the past, and they are grounded in actual Portland history. Now, these are guided tours. They're self-guided tours if you want to use your phone, or you can actually stream them onto your devices and watch all of these tours from the comfort of your own living room if you'd like. It's a way to get spooked by the spirit of the season while avoiding exposure to other people.
So it turns your phone into a tour guide.
One of the beauties of Portland Ghosts offerings is portability.
Tend to come out and end at late at night.
The self-guided mobile app you can download from Portland Ghosts allows anyone to navigate to specific haunt locations in Portland and learn about the history of a haunting event that took place in a specific location.
Once you get to a location, it will tell you everything that you want to know about that location. There is an image, there's text, there's audio, so you can kind of fast forward or rewind and you control the audio if you'd like.
In addition to the self-guided tours, there are guided tours that walk the same haunting route, stopping at many of the same locations. And if you don't want to leave the house, Ghostflix, an on-demand streaming platform, is also available. You can stream recordings of or actual live tours of haunt tours to your home device.
There's a natural curiosity around what happens after we die and what happened to our loved ones or people that we know who have passed on. So I think there's a natural interest in the unknown and around death. And I think that's what we try to do on our ghost tour, is explain that in a manner that's educational but respectful.
Well, there it is, an educational and respectful treatment of some ghostly things that have happened in Portland. If you want to go to the website and maybe download the app there and take that self-guided tour if you'd like, you can do it at any time, really. That's the beauty of having a self-guided tour. Go to coin.com, download that app from Portland Ghosts, and go on a little bit of a ghostly adventure all on your own if you'd like this Halloween season without having to worry about being in the presence of other people, getting infected, and all the rest of that. Jenny and Ken, this is something there. Technology is bringing some of the horror of Halloween to your personal cell phone.
Do you have a creepy place in Portland? Cora, I know you're more of a Couve guy, but...
Well, there's a lot of creepy places in Portland. I'll talk to you about it later.
Oh, okay.
We're not in one of them right now, but
Okay.
Well, I see that you had Old Town Pizza was one of the places that has a ghost named Nina.
Right.
And there's quite a story behind that. I've actually done something on Old Town Pizza and their ghost there. So yeah, there are a lot of
a lot of those old legends. A lot of those old legends started there in the old north end of Portland, in there and around Old Town Pizza. And the old north end was the original spot of Portland, and a lot of those things. You did that story, Ken. I remember that. A lot of those old history and ghoulish kind of stories have their roots there in the old north end of Portland.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Cora. Well, who you going to call?